Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. It is Money Monday. If you're just joining us, we have 106 participants on the line. That is amazing. Our goal is to exceed 100, so we've accomplished that today and we haven't even started the training yet. That's awesome. I'm excited to bring out our trainer today. Our trainer is Michael Huggins. Michael is a good friend of mine. Both Michael and Vanessa I've known for a long time, and it's an honor to bring out Michael as our trainer today. He's been the one who introduced me to Renatus. He is my 5-star, and he's someone who I very much look up to. And we're very fortunate to hear from Michael because he has been in this business about 9 or 10 years, and he has a lot of really great experience, and he's obviously been very, very successful at this business. So, take notes on what he has to say because he has a lot of great things to share with us. Before Renatus, Michael was working 2 jobs. He was working for Sears Auto and Jiffy Lube. He went to school and got a degree and did everything that he was told to do right, and ended up working at Jiffy Lube and Sears and was frustrated paying student loans that weren't really going anywhere. And he was also living in his girlfriend's mother's basement at the time. He didn't have a car to drive to work, so he rode his bike to work. He was struggling financially and he was very frustrated. So he started to look for a solution and he ran into Renatus. He heard about real estate investing and that's how he found Renatus. Michael has since then become a 7-figure income earner with the company. He's the #1 income earner with the company. He travels the nation to train us and to share his experience with this business. And I am very honored to bring out Michael today, and I'm excited to hear what he has to share. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the call. It's a beautiful day here in Colorado. Excited about our intensive that we got coming up this week with Kendall Stock on raising private capital. Remember, if you're in Colorado, that we are doing an ICM only training with Kendall on Friday evening. So make some time. Be sure to be there so you can maximize what's going to happen on Saturday. Okay, rock and roll. So last week we left off with going over funding. We had talked about HELOCs and then how to partner up and get people to want to lend us some money. So I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to pick up where we left off with that. But I want to give a shout out to the New York team. I got to spend some time up there with Hugh and Umair and Erica and all those people, all those incredible people up in New York, DC, Jersey, Baltimore, Connecticut. Man, there are so many people all coming together. It was awesome. We only got two more regionals this year. So if you haven't been to one yet, figure it out and get to one. We got Seattle and Sacramento left. So let's make it happen, Captain. Okay. Okay, as a quick reminder, there is a setting on your Zoom app, whether you're using a laptop or you're using a your mobile device, an iPad, whatever. There's a setting. You go into your Zoom settings where it says turn video off upon entering. That way, when you come into the room, nobody has to look up your nose. All right, just in case you didn't know, some of you come in with the camera on and then we just see your boogers. Hey, funny Doug, what's up, man? Okay, so we're talking about the follow-up, how to use this follow-up slideshow that I gave you guys. It's in your Helios. Go through it, find it, download it, make a few changes so that it's, you have your story instead of my story in there. And we want to simplify our customers' understanding of what it takes to actually be involved with us. A lot of people think 20 grand is too much. But if you remember from last week when we went over HELOCs, it was only 84 bucks. 84 bucks a month. So how do we make it easier and easier for them to understand that this is worth it, you know? And one of the other things I constantly bring up with people is they don't ask the question like, when I'm going to college, well, when will I make my money back? Right? They don't say it in that context, but they're saying it here. So remind them that of course they're going to make their money back. It's up to them when, but it's an of course thing, right? Like, of course you're going to make your money back. Come on. It's up to you when. So we went through the disclosure, then we went through not a licensed professional, we went through this, we went through that, we talked about pillars of wealth, frequently asked questions, should ask questions, starting your own business, going through the phases, how to use your education. We did a live demo of the classes, talked about the benefits of the essentials. And remember, essentials is keep your money classes. I had a few people ask me about how to get more of their folks to upgrade. And, you know, they just have their essentials and they're like, I don't need my essentials. Once I do a deal, then I'll upgrade. And somehow along the way from when we first originally talked to them, to these students, to when they bought, they somehow got it in their head that the essentials was all real estate and that they could just do real estate deals with the essentials. I mean, if you are incredibly savvy and you've been in real estate before and you understand a whole lot, then yeah, you could probably do that. But for most people, we don't set it up that way. Okay, the whole idea is that the essentials is the keep your money classes. This is how you keep your money. So with the essentials program, this is how you keep your money. This is not how you build a real estate empire. This is how you keep your money. So from day one, if they're sitting in the room and our presentations remind them that essentials is about keeping your money, then they're not going to get it in their head that they need to go do a deal so they can buy their combo. They need to buy their combo so they can go do a deal. So real estate, keep your money, keep your money. Two different things. Keep your money, build your money. Essentials, keep your money. AIT, build your money. We clear? Hope we're clear. I feel like we're clear. Good, we're clear. Okay, essentials, keep your money. Over 60 hours of content. You get weekly group coaching for life. This slide is hidden. Notice it's hidden. So once Helios comes out, the full scale thing, it's going to be $24.97. So make your sales now. Okay, essentials, phase 1. Phase 2 is we're now getting into the AIT. Phase 2 is AIT. This is where we get into finding deals, analyzing, making offers, analyzing, making offers, and analyzing and making offers. You know what we do here as real estate investors is we analyze deals and we make offers. Well, what kind of deals do you want to do? And then we break it down and we show them, hey, this is how a learning path looks. There's the core classes, the strategy classes, and then the bonus classes for each of the learning paths. So we got fix and flips. And then let me remind you guys that if your customer is like a director, a relator, a validator, they don't really care what the names of the classes are. It's cool to go over them, but remind everyone that we have a boatload of classes. Only the intellects really care. Only the intellectuals were like, well, what's the name of every class? So I don't really spend too much time on it. Remember, when you're doing a follow-up, sometimes you only got 1 hour, maybe 90 minutes with someone. So we got fix and flips, we got buy and hold, we got multifamily, we got commercial, toilets, tenants, or termites, wholesaling, lease options and auction, short sales and foreclosures, wealth acceleration, business management, retiring and real estate. We got a lot of classes. These slides are hidden. This is the slide that I show everybody. You sit on this slide for a minute, let people digest it. 1997, okay, 5997, 7994, okay, 17997, 1994. Oh, okay, I'm starting to get it now. Oh, I get it. Sometimes it takes them a few minutes to just sit on the screen before they feel comfortable moving forward. And then every once in a while, someone goes, well, can I just buy the AIT without the essentials? Sure, if you want, but the essentials is all around how to keep your money. Keep your money, build your money. Okay, we go over complimentary lifetime access. We go over what help is offered by Renatus once you get your Extreme Plus combo. Or even if you have your essentials, you still get live classes. You get 6101 coaching sessions. You get group coaching for life, live customer service. So then we get into phase 3, which is apply what you learn. And phase 3 is about analyzing deals and making offers. Analyzing deals and making offers. So we demo Renatus iOS for a few minutes. And then, boom, we've figured out how to keep our money. We figured out a path towards building our money. Now we're going to analyze deals and make offers. And now we've got an offer accepted. We're into our first deal. 7-day rescission, right of rescission period. And then let's go over finding the money. So we talked a lot about the cost, right? The monthly cost if you're using someone else's money. By the way, let me just bring up this real quick. Our calendar of events. Okay. We are having Eric Counts come in and do a new course called Credit Mastery. Ooh, Credit Mastery. It's going to go from 8:30 to 5. It's at Corporate Studios. You can bring a guest. I encourage you to show up, go network with him, go get to know him, go fix your credit, go build your credit. This is going to be an awesome addition to our curriculum. So be a part of that class. That's on Thursday at 8:30. And then Friday at 8:30, we have Introduction to Commercial Real Estate and getting more understanding and alignment with what it is commercial, what it takes to do commercial real estate. So be there or be square. Okay, that's Friday up at Corporate Studios. And then Saturday, we have our Super Saturday. And then also for those of you who are in Salt Lake City, I wanted to remind you that we are having a special holiday-themed EMT that starts this Thursday at the community college. All right, so you know everyone says have yourself a Merry Christmas. Well, we're saying have yourself a 10K Christmas. Okay, we got 5 weeks basically till the end of the year, so why not have an extra 10,000 before Christmas? So this Thursday, Salt Lake City Community College, get enrolled with EMT, and let's have ourselves a 10K Christmas. It's going to be awesome. Okay, cool. Just a little quick plug there. We got a powerful week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be awesome. All right, now let's go to the iPad. Okay. So we talked about a couple different versions of things. Funding Q&A, went over the schedule, right? By 7:50, 8 o'clock, you're finished with your PowerPoint. Then from 8 to 8:30, we're going over funding because we want to leave enough time for people to put their orders in. Okay, if they keep thinking that, oh no, it's 9 o'clock and I got to go, and you didn't leave enough time for order entry, you're just making your job harder. So okay, there we go. All right, so obviously cash or credit is a way to do it. Yep, HELOC's a way to do it. Remember how we talked about this question, how much are you getting paid for your good credit? And then going over HELOCs, if we borrow $20,000 on someone's HELOC and they're being charged 5%, it's going to cost $84 a month. So we say, you know what? I'll double that. I'll pay you 10% for your HELOC. 5% goes to your bank, 5% goes to you. Let me borrow your money. And then create some arbitrage with that. And then I also wanted to remind you that you are the value. You are the value to create a deal. You need time, knowledge, credibility, money. So you're the one that's going to have the time. You're the one that's going to have the knowledge and the credibility with our organization. You're just looking to borrow someone's money for 6 to 12 months, maybe 18 months, depending on your situation. And then at the end of the day, the whole premise behind this is that you are looking for a hand up, not a handout. Okay, so go back and watch last week's video and get a refresher on what that is. And let's jump to the next option of funding, which is retirement accounts. 401ks, IRAs. Oh, we got some chat stuff going on. Jeremy. Oh, perfect. There you go. Yeah, I went in detail last week. Okay, retirement accounts. So, remember also that we're not financial planners, we're not brokers, we're not CPAs or attorneys. We're just sharing what we've learned. And the whole premise behind this is Waco. What are you capable of? That's what we're asking. We're not telling them use your 401k. We're saying, does using your 401k make sense? So there's two different ways of going about this. So let's talk about 401ks for a second. 401ks. IRAs are easier, so let's talk about 401ks first. And then if I'm doing this in a group setting, I'll ask people, so what does 401k actually mean? And I've gotten some weird answers. One time I got this guy that says, well, it means when you have 401,000 in your account, you can retire, right? 401k. Okay. But really what it is, it's in the tax code. It's line 401, subsection K. It says you're in a profit sharing relationship with your employer. You're sharing some profits. That's it. So make your own 401k and stuff more profits in there. But if you still have a job, then this is what it could look like. So we have our current, and then we have old. So let's talk about current for a second. Current 401k means you're still there. You're still working there. And the account is still actively being managed by whoever your company decided to manage it. So there's a few rules. They all start with 5, so this is easy to remember. You can borrow $50,000. Let's say it this way. You can borrow 50% up to $50,000 at 5% interest for 5 years. Okie dokie. 50% up to 50,000 at 5% for 5 years. So then I'll ask the group. So group, if I have 70,000 in there, how much can I borrow? 50%. That's it, 35,000. What if I have 200,000 in there? How much can I borrow? Well, I'm capped at 50 grand. That's it. Now the interest rate is around 5. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 6. We're just going to go with 5 for easy remembering. And then we have 5 years to pay it back. Now the difference between the HELOC which was 5% where we could do interest-only payments and pay everything else back all at once. This is a little bit different. This is an amortized loan, not a line. So we have to do a principal and interest payment back, okay? So let's say you have 40,000 in there. You can borrow 20,000. So you take a $20,000 loan. What they're going to do is they're going to either send you a check in the mail, or they'll do direct deposit into your account, and they'll convert it into cash for you. So in order for our customer to be able to use this, we don't take personal checks, but we take cashier's checks, money orders, and obviously credit cards. If you need to do a wire, you call corporate and you get the info to do a wire. And now they got this money in their checking account. Okay, 20,000. Well, here's what they're always thinking. The customer's always thinking, well, what's the cost? What's the cost? What's the cost? Right? So if we review our cash flow sheets, does everyone remember when we played the Cash Flow 101 board game? We have our balance sheet, right? We have our income, we have our expenses, we have our assets, and our liabilities. So they're always wondering, what's the cost? So if they use a 401k, there's going to be an extra expense added to their expense line that they have to pay back. Well, how do we figure out how much that is? Let me show you. We'll pull out our fancy dancy calculator, the HP 10BII. Or a simple mortgage calculator, loan calculator, something simple. Oh, where'd it go? So if someone takes a loan, they'll have a $20,000 loan over here, and their associated expense is $376 a month. Okay, so it's a good time to ask them, can you afford $376 a month? When if you have, 4,000 coming in, and you got a total of 3,000 going out in your expenses, and now you add 376 to it, is that something you can afford? Now we're trying to keep this simple here. Can you afford $400 a month? Is $400 a month comfortable for you? It's not going to be indefinite. It's basically going to be until you do your first deal. Pay this sucker off. Now some people go, nope, 376 is not something I got. I make 3,000 a month and I spend 3,000 a month. Well, you definitely need the classes then. Okay, so 376 doesn't make sense for you. All right. Well, what if they have 45,000 in their 401k? Well, then they can borrow 22,000. Okay. So we set aside this other 2,000. So we use 20,000 for the education. The other 2,000 we can use to offset this cost. So it's still 3,000 in, 3,000 out. This other 2,000 is going to go down by 376 a month. So how many months do we have? We basically gave ourselves 6 months. Now, here's an interesting question. Where does all this money go? This 376, it all ends up back in the 401k. It's your stinking money. So I know some people who, here we had a student who had 60,000 in his 401k. So if he has 60,000, how much can he borrow? He could borrow 30,000. So he uses 20,000 for his education. He's got 10,000 left over. Well, if you're borrowing 30,000, it's not 376 anymore. Right? 20,000 loan was 376. A $30,000 loan is 550. So now there's an extra 550 on the expenses, but we have $10,000 cash just sitting in the checking account. So when each month rolls by and the 550 needs to be put back into the 401k, you just take it from, if you think about this 401k being this is your right pocket, and your checking account is your left pocket. All you're doing is you're moving your money from this pocket to this pocket. You guys like these pants? What you're doing is you're taking money from your left pocket and putting it into your right pocket. That's what we're doing here. So it's your money. It's your money. Hey, customer. Hey, new student. This is your money. Why are you letting it just sit and make someone else rich? And you could be using it right now. Right? Another way to think about this is what if on their liabilities they had a $10,000 credit card that was costing them 19% interest or whatever. So what would that end up being? That would be about $200 a month just in interest payments. So what if we use this 10,000 and pay off this credit card and then put that 200 back into the 401k? See, this is America, the Wall Street, the banking systems have done a great job of making people think that they can't touch their 401k, that they'll get in trouble and they can't touch it. But that's wrong. You could totally use it. You use it all day to benefit yourself. You just follow those simple rules. 5%, 5 years, 50,000, 50%. Follow those rules. So if your student has money in their 401k, then great. Let's make it happen. Now, before I move on from this topic, I want to make sure that we're clear. So does anyone have any questions around what we talked about, or if there's something I can clarify for you? $401ks, borrowing from yourself. It'll take 7 to 10 days for your customer to have the cash in their checking account. Okay. Well, if you're clear, I'm clear. So this is a powerful image, by the way, of helping people understand. You're just moving money from your left pocket to your right pocket. It's your money. It's your money. Let's just move it. Let's move it to where it's benefiting you. Yeah, the 401k is from the tax code. It's line 401 of the tax code, and then subsection under that 401 line, subsection K, is where you can save money when that money is being contributed by your employer because there's a profit going on. You get to share in that. Cool. Pockets, baby. Let's get some fat pockets. So we're allowed to borrow 50%, up to 50,000 for 5 years at 5% interest. So I've known some people who have over 100,000 in their 401k. So the max they can take out is 50,000, and they'll do something like, they got their education, they got 30,000 left over, but they also have a car payment. This is a car. They owe 30,000 on their freaking car, or 10 or 20 or 30, whatever. And you know, it might be costing them 6, 7, 800 bucks a month for their car, maybe more, 800 bucks a month, depends on what you're doing. So if you take that 30,000 and you pay this off, and you put that 800 back in your 401k, and now you have financed your own vehicle and you have captured your own 5% interest for you instead of letting the bank make money off of the auto loan. And it can be any size. 5,000, 10,000, doesn't matter. I'm just going with an example I've seen here. So the whole idea is it's your money. What are you doing with it? Are you making money with it, or are you just letting it sit there and you're still paying credit card interest, you're paying auto loan interest, other kinds of debts? Why not use it yourself? Take that money that was going out of your checking account and redirect it back into your 401k, and you get to benefit. This 5% is yours to keep. So if you think about it this way, let's say this auto loan was 6% over here. 6%. So 6% was leaving your bank account, and now 5% is going back in. That's a positive 11% gain. So I'm showing this to them on the whiteboard, and they're going, oh, crap, I never thought about it like this. No one ever explained it to me this way. All right, what if you paid off your credit card and it's freaking 19%, then you give yourself 5%. Now you got a positive 24% gain. You see what I mean? So going back to that understanding of it takes time, knowledge, credibility, and money. If it's not your 401k, what can we do? Yes, it can be paid back in sooner than 5 years. That's the max. The max is 5. If you want to pay it back sooner, then by all means. Yes, Miguel, the 5% interest paid to your 401k is interest that you pay yourself. And you don't pay taxes on that interest because it's going back into a retirement account. Your retirement account's growing faster because of you. How cool is that? So it could be as easy as just getting your essentials, getting someone their essentials with it, right? Oh, I only have 5,000 in my 401k. Great, we'll pull out 2,000 and let's get it going. 2,000 is 37 bucks a month. Cool. So you are going to gain time, or you're bringing your time to the table. You're gaining your knowledge. You're bringing that to the table. You're bringing more and more credibility each day to the table. And you're looking for someone that has some money. So again, make a deal with them. These same rules still apply. This 50% apply to your mom's 401k, your cousin's 401k, your neighbor's 401k, your coworker's 401k. So you're just going to ask them, would you like to double the rate of return you're earning on your 401k? Or you going to ask them this question. Over the last 5 years, how much interest have you earned in your retirement account? Retirement account. There's very common answers are 0, 1, 5, and I don't know. I rarely hear someone saying over 5%. And if they think, something to clarify here, if they think they're getting more than 5%, Then I got a question. Is that 5% because you're making monthly contributions or because it's actually growing through investments? Right? Is this because of your contributions? Right? You're putting in $500-600 a month. Is that why it's going up at more than 5%? Or is it because it's actually growing through investments? Right? When you give it to your 401k fund manager, they go into the stock market and they invest it. And then there's supposed to be a return going back to you. Oftentimes there's a loss, right? Sometimes people get a -1, a -5. But if they're saying, oh, my 401k is getting 12%, it's growing 12% year over year, you got to ask them, well, is that 12% counting your contributions? Or is it actually growing because of the investment vehicles and investment decisions that the fund manager is making? Remember, we're not trying to make them wrong. This is not about right or wrong, good or bad. This is about being effective and being clear. And then often what you'll find out is it's really just growing because of their contributions, not because their person is making fantastic investment decisions. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Is this making sense? Cool. So these are just questions we're asking. What are you capable of? Are you capable of taking some money out of your 401k and lending it to yourself so you can take some classes here? Here's something to think about. All the money that's in the 401k, you haven't paid taxes on it. You could take a loan from yourself and you could buy a tax write-off. You could buy this education, which is a tax write-off for you. And when you pay yourself back, that 5% goes back in tax-free. Doing all these tax-deferred or tax-free strategies. This is incredible stuff. Imagine what happens if you start taking this training and you really nail these concepts. Okay, so hopefully this made sense, or this made sense. Then when you ask this question, or these questions about over the last 5 years, how much have you earned? What you're doing is you're setting it up so that you can create a win-win for them. So they're like going, oh, I'm getting a 1, a 2, a 4, whatever. You say, okay, well, I'm creating a business. It's in the real estate investing world. And whoever capitalizes my business, whoever lends me some money for this, I'm willing to pay him 8% or 9%. But now you got to put yourself in a good financial position to do that, right? So if you're looking for a $20,000 loan or for your education, and you're willing to pay them 8% for a loan, you should probably borrow something like 25 as the loan. So you have this 5,000 left over to make payments with. All right, so a $25,000 loan would be about $410 a month. You got $5,000 here, you got yourself 12 payments. You got yourself a whole year to do this. So that's one way. Now, I know some people will do a combination of things. So we just had a student who signed up last month who went through the Get Funded Online process. Go GFO, go GFO.com. And she was able to get 16,000 at 0% interest. Well, that's not enough to buy a combo. So she had about 9,000 in her 401k. So she just went and took a $4,000 loan from her 401k. So then she put this in and got herself the Extreme Plus combo. So we're doing velocity banking to pay this back. And then her $4,000 loan is something like $80 a month that she's just going to put back into her own 401k. She was able to do it that way. Now, some people have a decent amount of cash flow, and they can afford $300, $400, $500 a month. So let's say they get a $4,000 loan, and they put that down for UGA instead. And now they have a $550 a month payment for the remaining $16,000 on their UGA payment. So they're looking at about $600, a little over $600 a month. But if that's something they can afford, just start with that. When we get onto this funding slide, all right, we're asking people, you know, what are you capable of? And we're on this slide now. You can just start out with, can you afford $600 a month? Start high. Can you afford $600 a month? What about $500? What about $400? What number are you comfortable with per month that you can afford to pay for this? And quite often, I get between $100 and $300 a month. It's like a just casual. And then I say, can you do $400? What about $600? What if we stretch and we make it $600? Is that something you could do? So we put it in terms of how much it's going to cost on a monthly basis instead of the whole $20,000. It changes how they feel about it. Okay, so all of that was for current 401ks. Anything else I could clarify before I move on? We only got a few more minutes on 401ks. Again, it goes back to creating a win-win. I borrowed someone else's retirement account to make it work for me. So now I know
Michael?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Real quick question. Do you know anyone who's done it with a self-directed IRA?
Definitely. There's a lot of people who've done that. So that's what we're going to call old. If you have an old 401k, so I got someone who, they were sitting in the class last week and she was like, wait a minute, I had a job like 10 years ago and I had a 401k. I was working there for like 5 years. I never moved the money after I quit. So then we call it, oh, that's an old 401k, right? If you quit the job, you no longer work there, it's old. So at old, what we're going to do is we're going to have them do what's called a rollover. They're going to take the money from the stock market, do a rollover into a self-directed retirement account, and we're going to use a third-party custodian, TPC. They got to go find one. There's a bunch around the country. I have a meeting with one here in Colorado next week to just connect more people to it. But these third-party custodians will now help you set up that account. And then these accounts make investments, right? They have to make investments. So someone can come to you and borrow. We can create a note, right? This note says, this person is borrowing money from me at X% interest for this many years, and they have to pay me back, and this is what I'll get paid back. This is now an investment. A note is something that can go into a self-directed retirement account. And then once we put that note in, then the money can come out. Okay? but you aren't allowed to borrow it. Right? You cannot do a deal with yourself. No, 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 no. Cannot do a deal with yourself. So someone else has to make a deal with your retirement account. Remember the prohibited transactions? Prohibited transactions. That's going to be things like your brother or your sister or yourself. Okay. But your cousin, your coworker, your neighbor, and spouse or in-laws, spouses, those are also no. All those they cannot take a loan from your 401k. But pretty much anybody else can. Except for I'm not going to tell you, like, do not go up to them and say, hey, do a rollover. I'll borrow the money from you, and then I'll give it back to you, and then you can borrow, and then you can buy your education. No, don't do that. They need to go find someone outside of Renatus. Right? Let's say they have their best friend. The best friend wants a loan. So their best friend makes this note. They go get it notarized. Okay, they gotta charge a percentage, 3, 4, 5%. And then when they do that, then the self-directed retirement account through the third-party custodian will lend them the money. Money goes to the best friend. And then, if they feel like it, maybe your student works out a deal and borrows different money, right? It's got to be, this is a gray area, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't tell by now, this is gray area. So what I'm saying is, you're not, right, this money, this 20,000 has to go to friend, but maybe friend has 20,000 and wants to make a loan to your student. And then your student now has 20,000 and then they can go and buy their education. This is a gray area, so be careful with it. Document everything. Don't do a prohibited transaction. But that's one way to do it. Okay. The other way is if they do a self-directed 401k. They do self-directed 401k, then they should be able to just write a check for the education. But usually when people do a rollover, they want an IRA, a Roth IRA, so that they don't pay tax on any gains or growth. So they might split it. They might do a self-directed IRA and a self-directed 401k. And the self-directed IRA only does real estate, and the self-directed 401k is simply so they can buy their education. But at this point, if they're going to do a rollover, you have to get a third-party custodian involved. And they're going to make sure you don't break any of the rules. Okay, and I rarely go into this much detail with the rollover for when I'm doing a group follow-up. I rarely do the last 5 minutes or so, what I just showed with you. I just wanted you guys to have this in your head so you can understand a little bit more. But what I'll tell people is, hey, if you have an old 401k, you got this old 401k thing, it's time for you to do a rollover. You're going to go find a third-party custodian, and you're going to figure out how, through following the rules, you could buy your education with that. And then I saw a little question about what if you leave the employer before the loan is paid back. They're most likely going to call the note due. You're going to say, all right, guys, you no longer work here. You had a loan out based off of this. So time to pay us back. Noreen, why does it have to be someone outside of Renatus? Because we don't want any, well, what's the word? We want an arm's length transaction. We want someone who is not in the companies who can't say, well, my 5-star made me do it. We don't want any undue influence. Or we want someone to go with their own idea, go talk to their own friend, and go figure it out that way. We don't want someone to come back a year from now and they weren't able to pay themselves back. The IRS gets mad at them, and then they go, well, Noreen told me to do it. Noreen's the one that came and borrowed the money and then lent it to me. So get mad at her. We don't want anyone to do that. So arm's length transaction. It's their idea. It's outside of our community. They went and found that person. They lent it to them. They borrowed it back from them. It's totally different. Keep your hands clean. 401Bs, I don't know. I think they're pretty much the same, the 50% up to 50,000 situation. So some of your students will have the money and some of your students won't. So you got to go train them. Go ask your mom. Hey, mom, over the last 5 years, how much have you earned in your retirement account? I'd like to use that money and we can grow it together. Right? Remember, you are the value. You're the one bringing the value to the table. So same thing with coworkers, right? You got a job, your coworker's been there for 20 years. You say, hey, man, I'm creating a real estate business, looking for some capital. If you lend me 20 grand, I'll pay you back 25. You're like, well, I don't have that money. Be like, well, do you have it in a 401k? Well, yeah, but I can't touch it till I'm 65. Be like, no, we're not doing a withdrawal, we're doing a loan. You loan me this money, I'll pay you back. I can afford 400, 500, 600 bucks a month. No big deal. Let's make a win-win-win. Cool. All right, it's top of the hour. I got to get on a phone call.
Thank you, Michael.
Team, you bet. Thanks for participating this morning. And we will see you guys soon. Remember, Salt Lake City, EMT starts this Thursday. Get signed up, get plugged in, have yourself a 10K Christmas. Talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. Get out there, take some action. Bye-bye.